So let's say I have a point here, okay, point A. And here's a straight line that passes through point A. Now, if any point on this straight line, okay, have the coordinates x, y. X, y are just variables, okay? What characterizes these points? In other words, what do any of these points on this straight line, okay, what do they have in common? Well, obviously, if I pick any two points on this line, okay, and I calculate the slope, okay, they're all going to give us the same slope, right? And it doesn't matter which points you're picking, okay, as long as they are on the same line, okay, any of these two, okay, will give the same number. So now let's say if the slope equals to 2, do you still remember how to express this slope in terms of the formula using the given coordinates of A? How do you do that? Well, if you still remember from last year, it's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Okay. Now, except this time, since they are given, okay, we're going to fix this. And x, y, okay, these could be applied to any other points on this straight line, okay, and therefore this becomes variable. And so this forms the equation of this straight line, okay. This is already the equation, okay, with x, y being the variables. Then what we do next is move this to the other side, and this is what we call the point slope form, just a way to express this equation. But of course, for our final answer, we would just have to simplify it and make everything on one side. And this would be our final answer, and this is what we call the standard form, okay? These are all equations of the same straight line, and for the standard form, we usually have the coefficient of x to be positive, okay? And if the index of x and also the index of y are both 1, okay, this is exactly a straight line, okay, not the same as a quadratic. So if I'm given with a slope and also a given point on the straight line, lies on the straight line, okay, then we could come up with the equation of this whole straight line, okay? So let's check. For example, if I pick this point and this point, any of these points, if it's done correctly, okay, they would give the same slope, okay? So this would be 0, 1, this would be -1, -1, okay? So if you do the math, okay, obviously this will give you the same slope, okay? So it applies to any two points on the straight line. Okay, so let's check out this question. Okay, the straight line, we call it L, with a given slope of -3, passes through the point. Find the equation of L. Now, here's the key point. Almost 100% of time, almost, to find the equation of a straight line, okay, you always need two things. One is the coordinates of a point that the line passes through, okay? In this case, this one. And also the slope, in this case, this one, okay? Then what do? I always try to imitate how we calculated the slopes in Form 3, okay? So y minus this y coordinate and x minus this coordinate, which equals to the given slope 3. Okay, so then I simplify it. This would be the point slope form, and at the end, this is the standard form. Okay, all on one side, the other side will be 0. The coefficient of x must be positive. And part B, find the x-intercept and y-intercept of this line. So to find this x-intercept, okay, it would be some number and the y-coordinate must be 0, right? So we put that into the equation like this, and you solve for x, okay? And so the x-intercept would just be this number, okay? So this is 7/6. Okay, likewise, you do the same thing for here. Now here, this would be 0 and some number for the y-intercept, right? So that's how you do it. you find the y. And so the y-intercept of L is 7/2.